Buildy here. Been working too much. Anyway, just thinking about some things. Been looking at properties, been looking at ways of doing things to survive the coming shitnado. It's really hard to find a place that's not over-regulated, and your regulatory businesses in your counties, they're all in line with some overall template they've been given, and they're all full of Karens and busybodies and other such ilk to keep you from doing what you want and make you do things that you don't want to do, being things that are really expensive and benefit the banks and the contractors maximum amount, and put you in a position of weakness and dependency. There has to be some way to, oh great, a truck just pulled up in front of the light, so I'm in the dark. I'm just gonna roll with it. Sorry about the visuals. Try to find something interesting here. Every time. Nobody ever parks there. Anyway, back to our subject. I've dealt with these people again and again and again, and I've noticed the primary motivating factor is self-importance and the ability to force people to do things that they don't want to do and prevent them from doing what they do want to do. And they're parasites. They're completely unnecessary. They want you to think that they're doing all kinds of good and ordering society in such a way that everybody's safe and protecting property values. They're doing no such thing. They're in the pockets of the contractors and the developers and the banks, and they're putting you in a position where you can be exploited by them. People should have the right to build their own home as they see fit on their own property. And as far as affecting your neighbors, well, the view and what it looks like and whether it comes into some conformity with a look or something in Better Homes and Gardens, that really, I can see a case for that if everyone agrees to it, but you know, you don't have the right to dictate what other people's property looks like. I got into studying that when I had a business in Colorado, and they had the Hometown America, where they would impose all sorts of diktats on everybody at their expense, at your expense. You had to follow all these dictates that they came up with, and they're just a little old hens club that sit around and look at magazines and want everything in town to look like that. Where do they get that right? The time's coming when it's going to be a matter of survival. You're going to need to set things up where you can dispose of your waste, and you can get water, and you can grow some food, and maybe have some chickens and trade with people. But there are 1,000 parasites that are going to prevent you from doing that. Even though the system's completely broke, they'll still be enforcing this stuff, and they'll be using the law to do it. That's why it's important to make sure that you get the right sheriff in your county, because he's the one that ultimately enforces things. And if he's on their side, you're screwed. They'll be coming and digging up your garden and spraying poison on it and killing all your livestock and let you starve, because you have to comply with ordinances, which are nothing more than corporate policies, because you have to comply with statutes. These are things that didn't even go through the legislature. These are things that the little old hens club sit around and came up with corporate influence. There has to be a Bill of Rights in such a way where you can take care of yourself, and you can not be forced into contract with or into dependency on these systems that don't give a rat's ass about you and would just as soon dispose of you as anything else, a lot of them. That can be done. You have to go after these people legally. Or if that doesn't work, you know, they can just ignore the law, claiming emergency powers and all that. They're doing it in a lot of places. They just bring the cops in. The cops are on their side. It doesn't matter what the law is. They'll drag you out of the town hall meeting if you say the wrong thing. Well, that's when you have to get some leverage, some physical leverage, and be able to apply some force. They don't have a monopoly on force, but you have to organize. Because you try to force yourself and you have too small a group of people, you're going to lose. The large group of people, you scare the living daylights out of them. Then they either double down and want a civil war with you, or they back off. More than likely they'll back off. Need to fight them. Nobody fights them. Because up until now it's easy. You know, you don't want to make waves. You don't want to make trouble. I've seen my neighbors at a place I had out in Colorado bullied by the building and zoning department, which was run by a moron. Just a self-important moron from a contractor family. He built a log cabin from architectural a kit, and it had an architect's stamp on his blueprints, and he's going according to his blueprints with all the components and stuff. And they came out and made him change the pitch of the roof. It had a state of Colorado architect's stamp on it, and yet they said, "Oh, I don't like the pitch of this roof. You need to increase it." And the guy didn't even have a freaking, I don't think he even had a community college degree. He's just some idiot from a contractor family that was probably too stupid to be in the business, so they got him into politics and became the building inspector, and he forced the guy to change the pitch of his roof, and the guy complied. So I would have went to court on that. Well, I don't want to cause trouble. I went to court. All you have to do is get the moron up on the stand and say, "What's this?" Point to the stamp. That's an architect's stamp. Do you have a degree in architecture? Where do you get off changing my designs? And that'd be the end of it. But the guy wouldn't do it. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to fight him. It's too hard. Well, I guess you get what you deserve. Anyway, people need to set up now where they can get through this and survive. And there's a whole bunch of things that try to prevent you from doing it. And it all boils down to your local officials being of a certain character, where it's all self-importance, and they got a nice cush job that they get paid for to order you around, and they like that shit. They love the hell out of it, and they've never gotten hardly any no effective resistance at all this time. Better start giving them some resistance. Anyway, that's enough for this. I'll try to get more videos in. Sorry I've been rather negligent, but been busy. Buildy signing out.